Hello lads, lassies, and those of unspecified gender, it's the Irishman here, and today I'm going to be talking about what would have happened if Goku married everybody. This is the third part to this what if, and if you have not already seen the other three parts, I would greatly recommend you go check those videos out before coming back to this one. When you have an army of Super Saiyans and a few elite soldiers who can even go further beyond, what is there really to strive for? Well, as Vin Diesel once said, family is everything. And this quote reigns true for Goku. Not because he knows the quote and thinks it's cool, but rather because family is the thing that was driving him this entire time. Not just his close connected family, as in Bardock, Gine, Raditz, all of them, but instead, his Saiyan race. Not because they were cool or strong or the best, but rather because they were his. He had this territorial urge to bring them back, to reclaim his glory. But even with an army far superior to anything the universe has ever seen, he still wanted more. Not more troops, more scouts, more warriors, more people bolstering the number of his race. He wanted his family. He wanted his mother, his father, his brother. He wanted them back, but he can't have that. At least, not yet. It was entirely possible to use the Dragon Balls and revive them that way, but Saiyans were more complicated than that. It wouldn't just be as simple as wishing them back and having them back in his lives. Instead, it would show the entire planet that he was weak enough to have feelings of compassion towards loved ones. Ew, just yuck. So he couldn't do that, he couldn't wish them back, he really couldn't show that he cared about them that much. That's un-Saiyan-like, and frankly just disgusting in his eyes. So he was overjoyed when Raditz entered his life again, but not through a means in which he had to forcibly acquire it. But now with Raditz back in the picture, this gives Goku not only his brother back, but also leeway to get the rest of his family back to him. All he has to do is pretend that Raditz is the touchy-feely one who wants mommy and daddy back to him. So, now, doing just that, Goku would use the Dragon Balls and revive his mother and his father, bringing them to the lookout. And before anybody says anything, no, there is not a rule about the Earth Dragon Balls not being able to revive people that have been dead longer than a year. That was referring to large groups. Bardock and Gine are not a large group, rather two singular people, so they can be brought back. Now, how do these three Saiyans actually adapt to the new environment they were just shoved into? Well, pretty great, as they would be treated like kings and queen. It would be pretty awesome. Raditz would be trained by Kakarot, and Bardock doesn't really need it. Knowing him, he was probably training his butt off in the afterlife to lay one into Frieza, and if that all went well for him, he should be able to train himself. And for Gine, well, her life doesn't really revolve around training and getting stronger, and luckily for her, neither do the lives of most of the people on planet Kakarot. Well, maybe not most of them, probably only like 15-16%, but that's still a lot when you consider we're talking about literal billions. So Gine is really able to fit in with these type of people, and she's loving it. There are other things to do than just fight and get stronger. Instead, she can pursue other things. She doesn't have to be a part of an army. She could be a chef or an artist, a director working on the newest movie, a painter working on their newest masterpiece. Any opportunity she wants to pursue, she can. And life is going great for everyone on the planet. There'd be no war because it would be shut down like that. There would be no crime or poverty because, quite frankly, as a civilization, they would have just grown past that. If there's not enough land to account for the massive population, all they have to do is get the Dragon Balls and wish for more space on the planet. So, really, everything is going great in the Saiyan Empire. Although, Bardock brings up a proposition to his son. They could go after Frieza. This idea would be on his mind ever since he was first revived. Hell, it was probably there ever since he was first killed, but right now, it becomes most apparent. Bardock would see the power that Goku alone has acquired, as well as what he has taught to his troops. He has an entire army of literal billions behind him, so why not use it to take out Frieza? Bardock would have first brought the idea up to his son in his throne room. As Kakarot was sitting down next to Android 21 in the throne, Bardock would have said that maybe they should take out Frieza. He's the biggest threat the Saiyans have. And Goku would laugh this off, saying that the Saiyans have no threat. They are far superior to anything that Space Lizard could do. Although Android 21 isn't too sure. Before, Goku had told her himself that Frieza was the one person he actually feared. Although, when she brings this up, Kakarot would immediately snap back, saying he isn't afraid of anyone. The king fears none and is respected by all. But Bardock knows his kids. They want to act all big and bad, but death is the thing they fear most. It was true with Raditz, and if it's even a little true with Kakarot, then he knows just a way to egg him on. So, Bardock would say that if he's too scared, then Daddy can take care of the monster for him. But this was the last straw. Kakarot would snap, getting enraged, lightning sparking around his normal Super Saiyan aura. He would demand Android 21 work on a ship that would be able to reach Frieza before the week is over. And she does just that. It wouldn't take long. She is probably the most brilliant mind the universe has ever seen by this point, spending extensively long in the Room of Spirit and Time, fine-tuning her craft. The ship would be capable of getting to Frieza's current location, something they would know thanks to Raditz's scouter, in a matter of days, possibly even sooner, if he doesn't want to do any training on the trip. Then, once the ship is fully prepared, Goku would board it alone, choosing not to take anyone else with him. He wants the honor of putting Frieza's head on a spike himself. But there's still something Goku hadn't prepared for. Frieza preparing for him. If the Emperor had any knowledge that there was a planet out there with people that came in the billions, even stronger than him, in fact several hundred times stronger than him, he's going to want to do something about that. And what better to do than get stronger than every single one of those people combined. Hell, it wouldn't even be that hard. All he has to do is a few months of meager training, and then he's more powerful than anything this planet Kakarot could even comprehend. And so he would do just that. For the next 6 months, Frieza as well as the Ginyu Force would be training together intensively, getting stronger day by day until everything is said and done. Each member of the Ginyu Force has power levels in the billions, a stark contrast from where they were before. And this wouldn't even be a footnote in comparison to the power that is Frieza. He would be so astronomically strong, nobody else could even compare in his forces, not even the newly improved Ginyu Force, although he isn't quite up to par with his Resurrection F level self in terms of strength. He's still comparable to where he was in Resurrection F, just not quite at the same level yet. Months would pass from when his training was complete and his golden form is mastered, although still not as powerful as it was in Resurrection F, just because I don't think he would reach those same levels, although still comparable. All of this to say that Frieza is incredibly powerful, but how does he match up against the millennia of training that Goku has had inside of the Room of Spirit and Time? Well, only time will tell. But thankfully we don't have to wait long, as Goku is currently at Frieza's doorstep. So, you were able to get past the Ginyu Force. Oh, how quite impressive, monkey.
You must be referring to your little misfit minions. Yeah, well, I took all 5 of them out. They're, how do we say, incomposed. But I didn't come here for them. I came here for you, Frieza.
Oh, don't worry. You're going to be getting exactly what you deserve. But before we start, I feel obligated to tell you, I've been keeping track of all of your recent activities, and I just adore that Super Saiyan form of yours. I actually have something quite similar. I know it's a bit gauche, but let's keep this simple. How about Golden Frieza?
If simplicity is what we're going for, then let's go with Super Saiyan 3.
Oh my, monkey. You've managed to make your hair grow. Impressive. Let's see how your gold stacks up against mine. And as the two charge at one another, their auras would flare even brighter than before. Their powers increase the more the fight goes on, each punch thrown, sending ripples throughout the galaxy. Their power is incredible, although Frieza is still largely outclassing Goku. Even with a millennia of training, Super Saiyan 3 just isn't cutting it. He isn't strong enough to contest with this absolute monster that is the Emperor of the Universe. Frieza would begin to easily pummel down Goku, his power waning because of the extent of damage Frieza would be dealing onto him. He's already mastered Super Saiyan 3, but what he hasn't quite mastered is his immortality. He's never really been put in a life or death situation yet, so I guess this is a learning experience. How does his immortality really chalk up against power so extreme? Well, it actually ends up pushing him, as Frieza would send a barrage of death beams towards him, entering his body, piercing through it. He would begin to fall to the ground. And then, as a brilliant white light eclipses him, he would rise back up, although this time with a look of pure rage on his face. Now, I'm not going to say every single death requires a light show, but for the first one, this is quite special. Goku's hair would begin to rise into the air, as then his eyes turn white, his hair switching from a gold to an emerald green, and then he would look at Frieza.
You're going to pay for that.
Frieza would try and commence in some playful banter, although Goku isn't having any of it. He would charge at Frieza with a fist prepared, before then slamming it into Frieza's gut before he has a chance to counter or even react. Then Goku would remove his hand before then using it to spin around and slap Frieza to the ground. What are you? Super Saiyan 3 with green hair dye?
I'm the legend people fear for all eternity.
Kakarot would then charge a small ball of energy in his hand, throwing it down onto Frieza's chest, still holding his hand out.
You are a rumor that will fade with time. I am eternal!
And that's where we're going to be ending things for today. I hope you enjoyed watching this, as I certainly enjoyed making it, and if you could, please like the video, subscribe to the page, and hit the notification bell, that way you're notified whenever I release any new videos. That would be very much appreciated. Thank you all so very much for watching. This is, always has been, and always will be the Irishman. Talk to you later. Bye.